Hello and welcome back to JustAn Opinion Movie Review. I am Aaron, and we're going to change it up just a little bit. So basically, I'm just going to kind of talk about the movie. There will be spoilers, and then I'll give a rating at the end. So we start off the movie with Mr. Nix and a police officer, and they are going to a church, and they see some dead bodies, and Mr. Nix is like, something didn't go right here. And then this girl, we found out her name is Lily. She's a siren, and she takes the police officer, kills him, and then Mr. Nix is like, yeah, I can trust you, right? And then puts then he puts a cuff on her leg, and now we go to meet Chase, or no, that's his real name, Johanna, I think his name's Johanna. He is getting married, and so he's going to have a bachelor party. So his brother, Mac, and his friend Rand, and Elliot, are, like I said, going to have a bachelor party. So Johanna's wife, or soon-to-be wife, says, hey, I'm fine with you, going to a strip club, but don't go to a strip club that has women against their will. That's basically kind of what she says. And John's like, yeah, he's more like, he's like, yeah, I completely understand. So they head to the strip club, and the strip club's kind of like a dive. There's not really much going on, and so then there's a guy. Let's see if I can find his name. The Attic? I don't know. That's who. Some guy walks up to him and says, hey, if you guys really want some action, I can take it somewhere. So they all four of them do drugs, mushrooms. And then they head and follow this guy to this mansion that's out in the middle of nowhere. And then we see Mr. Nix comes out and he goes, hey, what are you guys here for? And, Matt goes, oh, we're here for Johanna's bachelor party. So Nix takes all four of them back and says, all right, well, Johanna, you go back in the store. And as soon as Johanna goes back, Nix goes, all right, you three. Now, if you want him to have a good time, think of your mother. Think of the best time of your mother, and I'll take that memory. And they're kind of like, what? And they're like, yeah, just put your head down and just think of your memory. So they do it. Now all three of them get up. They're all excited. Elliot goes and talks to, I think her name is Brittany Hall, but they have her on IMDb as 50N. I don't know. So, well, that's her real name. Brittany S. Hall is her real name. And then it says as 50N, and then parentheses as Brittany Hall. So I don't know what the hell's going on there, but it's like, oh, I'll take this drink right here, and it's a leech drink, and she's like, well, it's murder. He laughs. He's like, well, if it's not good, then I'll die. So he drinks the drink, and then he gets sick. And then now, as Johanna went to the back, and he met the siren, and he kind of, it's not quite explained if he falls in love with her. I mean, there's a lock on the door, so he automatically thinks it's a human trafficking. So he goes to tell Rand. He's like, hey, we gotta go save this girl. And Rand's like, well, let's just call cops. And Johanna's like, well, you said before that you want to, this is our last time to be crazy. And so Rand's like, okay, yeah. So they go break the lock. They save Lily. A guard sees them. Rand attacks the guard. And then Johanna and Lily are able to get away. Then Rand's, knocked unconscious. And then Lily ends up stealing a key that can get rid of the bracelets that's on her leg. So then once she gets it off, she ends up killing the guard, and then Chase, I don't know why I keep calling him Chase. I mean, that is his name. But Johanna's like, oh, shit. So he runs. All four of them get out. They all drive. Lily ends up finding them because she can smell the scent of Johanna's shirt. So she takes Elliot. And at this time, Elliot's kind of he's lost it. So I don't know what's happening to him. But he ends up getting taken away. I don't know if we see him die or... Because it's in a dark area. He gets dragged away. And Lily doesn't seem to... I mean, Lily only attacks people who are attacking her. So I don't know if she killed Elliot or what, but we never see him again. So I guess we can assume that he's dead. So Rand gets out, he sees his car, and he's like flagging him down. Like, hey, over here. And then he gets ran over because we find out that it's Nick's driving, and Nick's like, well, I want my girl back. And so Johanna and Mac end up running away, and then they cover their scent with mud so that Lily can't find them. They end up getting to a bar with two police officers there, and so they tell the police officers like, hey, we're being chased by this guy. And so they figure out that this is Johanna, and they work for Nick's. Now we flash back to Nick's, and now he's got Rand, and he's torturing Rand because the brother who the guard who died, his brother is still alive, and so he kind of wants revenge. So they end up breaking his knees and stuff like that, and the Siren ends up finding Johanna at the bar, ends up killing both police officers, and then takes Johanna away. Flies away, and his brother's kind of like, what? Okay. So, Johanna has unwillingly sex with the Siren, but the whole time he can only think of his wife, Eva. So, he's able to, after the sex, the Siren falls asleep. Johanna's able to somehow get back to the house, still at nighttime, but he is caught off guard by 50 Yen, who's like, all right, you're going to drink this leech, because it's basically, she doesn't tell him this, but it's basically a not a telephone, but you can talk to each other through it. So he finds out that Rand is being tortured, and he's like, all right, you give me the girl and I'll give you Rand. So he goes back to the church, or he goes to the church, and Rand's there, and he's like, all right, you put this, Nix is telling him, you put this bracelet on the Siren, and you're free to go. So Johanna gets there, the Siren shows up, and Johanna's like, you just want to be free, don't you? So then he throws the bracelet. The Siren starts attacking people. Somehow his brother found out that he was in here, so Max shows up, hits Nix, but then ends up dying to Nix by getting his throat slit. Then Lily is basically like, I like you, so we should, she doesn't say this, but she's like, oh, we should be together, and Johanna's like, no, I love somebody else. So now the weddings happen. Johanna and Eva, I use in quotes, had sex, and then Johanna gets up, goes downstairs, but finds Eva on the couch. So it turns out to be Lily, and Eva goes to cough, so Lily's like, oh, well, I have to kill her. So he goes, no, no, no. And Johanna's like, no, 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 don't kill her. I'll go with you. So the movie ends with Johanna being flown away with Lily, going back to wherever they're going. So my opinions on it is one, I want to say this at the strip club. So there's a lady dancing, and everybody's just kind of like and I felt bad for her because I had experience when I went to a strip club, and I don't usually go to a strip club. It's usually if Adam or Bruce, my other friend, kind of drag me along. Not because I don't want to go. I'm really stingy on money. Like when you go there, you're gonna be spending at least probably about $50. And I'm just like, most of the time, it's money well, not, I shouldn't say money well spent. Because there was one of my friends who spent over $800 and still was mad that he didn't get anything. But I just took me back to this lady. She was a heavy set woman, and I only had $5 left in my wallet, like a $5 bill. And she's up there dancing, and and everybody's just kind of watching, but nobody's giving her money. And that has nothing important to the movie, but it just I feel the empathy of the women who are up there, kind of like doing their thing, and I'm for people making money off their body. I don't care as long as it's consensual, and you're not harassing them. But I didn't say this in the beginning, but Lily is basically nude the whole time, but there's times when you can see that she's wearing underwear, like skin color underwear, because there's one scene where she walks up and you just see the outline, which it doesn't. I can't imagine walking around naked, especially where you're in in a building. These places are designed, but she was fighting in a kitchen, and I just can't imagine doing a full naked scene just in a kitchen, because I used to work in a kitchen. But no, the decisions of Johanna, it always pisses me. There has to be a movie. If you buy this movie, you can't just be like, all right, yeah, we'll leave and we'll go call the cops. You can't, but we find out the cops are corrupted later. But to have a movie just kind of end, it's like, because Rand was basically yeah, let's leave and we'll call the cops, and then they can take the process from here, because what happens when people want to keep their sex traffic. They're not just gonna be like, oh, hey, you took one of my, oh man, the shaking of the hand, whatever. But he's like I'm like, Johanna, and I should say the other thing too is, some random guy comes up to you and goes, hey, yeah, I can take you we can have a fun time, and then you're like, yeah, let's do drugs, like, come on, it's another dumb decision that they made. But for the most part, I kind of, the movie wasn't bad. It was I don't know if they had the runtime on here on IMDb, but it went by pretty fast. So as always, the ranking, I'll have the ranking on there if I remember to do it. But I honestly probably would give this movie, I probably would give, if you see it on TV, I would watch, take a watch, so see. Like I said, Lily only has like 3 lines, She's like, oh, I like you, stay with me, and the other thing too is she can't speak on camera, so every time she speaks off camera, so you just hear I like you, and he's like, what? But yeah, so I mean, I enjoyed the movie. Like I said, it flew by pretty fast, But yeah, so let me switch back to this part. We're there. So maybe. Yeah, come on. Nope. All right. So that's it. So I hope you guys have a good one.